Hey folks, Chris Endy with Infoblox here today, and I wanted to talk to you about automation in your hybrid and multi-cloud environments. But before I dive into that, I want to start by talking about dishwashers of all things. A recent study that I read showed that 75% of Americans own a dishwasher. Now, why would so many people pay good money for dishwashers when they can wash their dishes by hand for practically nothing? It's simple because dishwashers automate the process of washing dishes to help them save time. Now, why do something manually when you can automate it, right? Now, if you don't have that many dishes, a dishwasher, it's still nice to have. But say you own a restaurant with thousands of dishes, that makes a dishwasher a must-have at that point because it becomes essential to your business. And that's what brings me to the point today is that your cloud environment is like that large restaurant, and automating the manual processes involved with running that is essential. So why is automation essential? It's because it saves you time and it saves you money and it saves you resources. And the good news is that you're already halfway there. When you spin up your virtual machines in your virtual or cloud environment, you're probably already automating the provisioning of your compute and your storage requirements. Both of those get provisioned almost instantly. However, no matter how fast those get spun up, these VMs don't work until they have an IP address and a DNS record assigned to them, which is probably done manually today. And this manual process can take up to several days, which is obviously no good because that slows everything down. It kind of defeats the purpose of automating everything. So going back to the dishwasher analogy that I started with, imagine how much better doing your dishes would be if you could eliminate the manual processes of actually loading the dishes and putting the dishes away. Now, wouldn't it be awesome if you could automate those processes as well? And that's exactly what automating the provisioning and assigning of IP addresses and DNS records can do for your virtual and cloud environment. You can automate all of the process in spinning up a virtual machine and not just a few of them. There's several benefits for doing that. Of automating all of the processes instead of just a few. Obviously, you're going to be able to spin up a VM faster, but you're also going to be able to automatically deprovision your virtual machines, and we'll talk about more on that in a second. And something that you might not have thought of before is that it can help improve your overall security posture as well. And again, I'm going to dive into that a little bit deeper as we go through this. Speaking of diving deeper, let's look at the benefits of automation and how it actually works. Now, these are the steps that are taken to provision a virtual instance from a traditional or non-automated approach. Now you can see it involves several different people, probably all on different teams, making a number of calls and emails back and forth, doing multiple manual tasks just to provision a single instance. And then they have to repeat all this in reverse to deprovision, and that's even that deprovisioning ever gets done. By automating the provisioning and deprovisioning of IPs and DNS records, you can literally eliminate every single one of these manual processes so that VMs can be spun up and down in a matter of minutes or even seconds instead of days. Now you can see obviously how this is going to save you time, and it's going to save you on resources as well by being able to free up those people that are required for all these manual processes that you see up top there to go concentrate on higher priority business. And maybe the most important thing is that last bullet you see down there on the bottom right is that you can automate the deprovisioning as well, which could save you guys a ton of money. Those VMs that you have spun up in Amazon or Azure or Google are costing every month. And if you're not using those, you're wasting money. This can eliminate that useless cost up in the cloud there. So not only does this, what we just talked about, all this automation is going to save you time, money, and resources, but it can actually help improve your overall security posture as well. Now, by using a centralized database to provision your IPs and DNS in all of these instances, that gives you visibility into all of your virtualized and cloud platforms. As far as IP addresses go, you'll know what addresses exist in each platform and exactly where they are in each environment. And when it comes to DNS, you'll have visibility into where all these machines are trying to connect to, which is important because if they're trying to connect to a bad URL or a malicious command and control server, that's no good. You can stop those communications even before they hit a firewall, effectively making DNS your first line of defense. You're also going to have visibility into the actual DNS queries themselves, which is important to detect malicious communications like DNS tunneling and data exfiltration, which are very commonly used in malware and ransomware attacks. Now, all of this network intelligence that we learn, or that can be learned from this process, is automatically fed into your existing security tools that you already own, which means major benefits. Over there on the right, detect malicious communications faster and locate infected devices faster. The bottom line here is that all of this information and visibility can supercharge your existing security stack and help your security team to detect and remediate threats much faster. So where does Infoblox fit into all of this? Infoblox is going to be the glue that holds everything together. Infoblox can integrate into all of those virtualized and cloud platforms that we discussed, and that's going to enable all of the automations that's going to save you the time, the money, and the resources that we went through in the first couple of slides. And at the same time, Infoblox is going to integrate with all of those security tools that you already have to help those tools realize all of the security benefits that we talked about as well. Thank you for your time, and I appreciate it.